Okay, Celtic have secured their eighth consecutive SPL title today. We're 3-0 away from home at Aberdeen, which now means they cannot be mathematically caught by the chasing pack. And while this is a good result for Celtic and they win some more silverware, when it actually boils down to it, it's actually bad for Scottish football. The first half of the season was really fun to report on as a YouTuber and follow, and it was great to see Hearts in the first quarter of the season, lead the league, and then Rangers and Kilmarnock got into the chase as well and got involved with having taken turns as leading the SPL as well. You had Hibs and Aberdeen at various points in the top four. So the first half of the season was really good fun. It was really competitive. It was topsy-turvy. There was a multitude of clubs that were actually really competitive at the start of the year. The second half of the season, that it's gone back to type. Celtic have eased away with the title in the end. Rangers and Aberdeen, are somewhat further back. I think Aberdeen have also regressed as well, which is a pity because they at the start of the season they had a slow start and allowed some of their rivals to get ahead. Same with Celtic, except Celtic could pick up momentum and Aberdeen took longer to get going. Kilmarnock, this is the important thing. Kilmarnock showed some really good signs, and Rangers have had a bounce back season. Under Steven Gerrard after the turmoil of last season with several managerial changes. Can the Gerrard effect gain some momentum going into next season? That's something to look forward to. The thing is, with Scottish football, the national side are struggling. And the UEFA coefficient with Celtic not making the Champions League this year, that's had a negative impact as well on teams qualifying from Scotland for the Champions League. So in actual terms, Celtic winning the league is not as good for Scottish football as some would think. It does highlight how uncompetitive the SPL has become. Although this season was much more competitive than last season, it was much more fun to report on and follow. But as the season wore on, it became very, very clear that Celtic still had a lot more than the other teams in the league. And this is a problem when you have a 12-team league. It is actually less competitive than a 20-team or a 24-team league that we have south of the border here in England with a Premier League of 20 teams and League 2 to the Championship having 24 teams. Some of the top divisions in Europe have 18 teams. So the issue with Scottish football is you play the same opposition at least 4 times a season in the domestic league. That's not including cup competitions. So, that breeds familiarity as well. And that lack of player depth is another problem. The national side is an issue as well. So hopefully next season, with some of the fresh shoots of growth with Kilmarnock, Rangers, and Aberdeen being a lot more competitive, Hearts having a good start to the season, can they repeat that? Next season, Hibs, will they be willing to have more of a crack at the league as well? St Johnstone, if more of these clubs can actually remain in the race for longer, the better Scottish football will be. But I wouldn't put money past Celtic winning a 9th successive title next year, which again I think long term will harm Scottish football. I think in the short to medium term, a new team needs to get its name on the SPL for the growth of the game in Scotland and the health of the game in Scotland. Because if Celtic are to continue to just win all the time, investment will dry up, fans will switch off, and it's not good long term for Scottish football. We see the same arguments with the French league, with PSG. We've seen the same arguments with Juventus and Serie A in recent years. Spain, it's starting to become a bit of a 3-horse race. It's becoming less competitive as time goes on. I think the last team outside of Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid or Barcelona to win was Valencia, and that's going back a fair few years as well. So there are issues in other leagues. However, they are still more competitive than the Scottish League for trophy winners, and it is what it is. But I know I have Celtic fans who follow the channel. We have to congratulate Celtic, but it would be fun and possibly healthier for Scottish football if a non-Glasgow side, and especially not Celtic, win the league next season. We have to see what Rangers do. We have to see what Hearts, Hibs, Kilmarnock and Aberdeen will do, and possibly St Johnstone. It would be nice to see one of those teams, get their name on that trophy. It would be a shot in the arm for Scottish football. It would do Scottish football no end of good if a different team other than Celtic was to win the SPL this decade. But there we go. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.